Welcome to the Great White Brotherhood YouTube channel.
Hi everyone. All right, time for another lesson. Um, this one is titled God Does Not Make Useless Things. So someone sent in a message to Bob, and somehow I got this message. I don't remember how. But anyway, it's a good one. So let's go through it and see what it talks about. So, God does not make useless things. Of course not. Question. Hi, Bob. I'm the person who messaged you on YouTube about suicide. Apparently, we're not allowed to say that word anymore. We have to say attempted unaliveness or something crazy. Um, I just wanted to say thank you for your kind response. A bit about my background. I can't remember how old this message is, so whatever it was a while ago. A bit about my background. I'm 29 years old and have suffered from mental illness my whole life. I have emotionally unstable personality disorder and really feel like a burden to my family, a massive disappointment to my parents, and I can't hold down a job because of my problems. I'm almost 30 years old now and have nothing to show for it. My health is suffering because finding motivation to exercise is so hard. I know it's lazy, but I just get so depressed. I find it almost impossible to find motivation. My dad looks down on me. My mom is sick of me. I have so much rage in me from being bullied. I lash out and say very hurtful things I don't mean, part of my disorder, and am overwhelmed with guilt, anger, and sadness all the time. And I know this sounds silly. I'm not that tall, so when people bully me, I can't defend myself. It also makes me feel inferior to everybody. I'm so tired of feeling inferior and being judged, looked down upon, and just being a burden. I think to myself, excuse me, I think to myself, is this all I'm worth? I'm so sick of life, and a while ago I put a belt around my neck and I almost passed out, but fell to the floor and came back around a few days ago. Sorry, I'm so sick of life, and a while ago I put a belt around my neck and I almost passed out, but fell to the floor and came back around. And a few days ago I was thinking of taking an overdose with sleeping pills and even wrote a note to my family telling them I'm sorry. I even looked on the internet on the most painless ways to die. I was going to starve myself or abuse alcohol, so it doesn't look like suicide. But it's always been at the back of my mind. What will happen when I cross over? But sometimes, Bob, it's all too much, and I can't cope. And I have always said that when my mother passes, that's the day I will take my own life. The person I wouldn't want to hurt most is my mum. I have never told anyone this, and I know it's terrible, but sometimes I just want to go to sleep and never wake up. But like I said, I'm terrified of what will happen when I cross over. So that's quite a story. That's quite a message from somebody who has a lot of problems in their life. And this was one of the answers from Bob. I don't have any follow ups from this, so this was the answer from Bob. Answer. Thank you for revealing your suffering to me. I'm sure this person's not alone. I want you to understand that I am not a doctor, but for many years I've helped people in your situation. The first thing I want to say to you is that you, like all life, were made by God, and God does not make useless things. That's 100% true. Everything that you can see, from the tiniest grain of sand to the whole universe, was made by God, and God makes things that have a purpose. Therefore, You were made by God and have a purpose in life. The trick is to uncover, excuse me for a second. Thank you. The trick is to uncover what your purpose is in the life that God gave you. Now, I am going on to tell you how your life plan was decided. You, like all human life, came originally from heaven. At the end of your incarnation, you will return to heaven. We all follow this formula. Now, this is going to be the hard part for you to understand, but I will tell you anyway. Each and every one of us, before we incarnate, work out, in conjunction with our guides and the angels who look after us, what our life plan during our incarnation should be. Some people chose to be doctors, artists, dentists, mechanics, and so on. Any one of thousands of different careers that exist. In your case, because you are a very special, brave, and courageous person, you chose to find out what it would be like to be born with a disability. You are not the only one. Some people choose to be born with physical disabilities, others with mental or emotional disabilities. But the only people who choose to do this are the very brave. As you know, it is not easy to go through life with a disability, but because of your special power, you volunteered to be born with this disability. The reason is as follows. We are part of a group soul. There are many group souls, and we all belong to one or the other. This group soul is called our oversoul. Each group soul helps create humans. Your group soul, which you can consider to be a bit like a parent, has been creating humans for a long time and will do so for a long time into the future. Now, when our incarnation is finished, each human returns to heaven and passes the experiences that he had during his incarnation to his group soul, who in turn passes it to God. The idea is that God and our group soul both grow in wisdom from the experiences that the human had during his incarnation. So, for every person that the group or oversoul creates throughout time, when that person's incarnation is over, he returns to heaven and tells his oversoul his whole life. Thus, the oversoul grows in wisdom from absorbing those different experiences. Now, in your case, this is what happened. Your oversoul thought that it needed to know what it was like to experience the life of someone with a mental handicap. So, amongst the various people that your oversoul created that didn't have the courage to face such a handicap, eventually you came along and volunteered. You knew that you had the power, the strength to face such a handicap. You were the only one in your group soul's creations of people who had this courage. Thus, you were born with this handicap. On top of this, to make your life more difficult, you were born a small person. Can you see how all this was created to see how you would cope with it? You were born with a maximum of problems so that, through your strength, you could overcome all those problems and eventually return to your oversoul and make a report of how well or not you coped with the problems. Now, I want your oversoul to be proud of you. I want you to be proud of you. You have the strength to overcome these difficulties, or God would not have allowed them to have been laid on you. God knows you can overcome these problems. Your oversoul knows you can. I know you can. It only remains for you to convince yourself that you can also overcome these problems. First, being a small person is not a handicap. Napoleon was a very small person, but he rose to be the emperor of much of Europe. Many people have been born small but have done great things, and that's 100% true. So, being small, you should not consider a handicap. This emotional problem is of a different order. It can be it can be overcome and you have the strength to do it, but it will take time. What you need to do is to realize that you are not inferior to others. I'll repeat that. What you need to do is to realize that you are not inferior to others. In fact, you are vastly superior to most, or you would not have been born with this burden placed upon you. Now, You will not be able to resolve your problems overnight. It seems a massive problem to you at the moment, but nothing is impossible. Okay? So that's a very important message and goes out to a lot of people that have problems and must understand that, as Bob, the last part of that sentence, nothing is impossible. Okay? So no matter what you're facing, nothing is impossible. You can get through it, and it won't happen overnight. It takes time. It takes time for all of us, even those of us who don't seem to have any problem, but just to change your life takes a very, very, very long time. I can speak to that through my own personal experience. It takes a lot of time, a lot of doubt and uncertainty as you go along, but when you look back, you can see how your life has changed, and that actually helps you build faith. Okay? So again, hopefully you like that message. Hopefully it helps some of you. If you have any questions, comments, or you want to contact me, you can leave a message below in the comment section below this video, or go to the website. If you want to go to the website, you can click on the contact section of the website, thegreatwhitebrotherhood.org, and you can fill out this contact form and contact me, and I'll get your message. Okay, so thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again on the next video.
Thank you for watching this video. Please visit our website at thegreatwhitebrotherhood.org for free books and lessons to help you on your spiritual journey.